What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So when it comes down to the whole rumor, a lot of people still do believe it. I just put out this poll, so do you think the PIF wants to take Lucid private? 45% says yes, 55% says no. So like I said, it's fairly evenly divided. I do want to go over this with you. So Fuzzy Panda Research. In here, they talk on ultimately why you need to sell Lucid, but I'm not going to bring that up. I want to talk on their thesis on basically what prompted it and some other aspects as well. And if you couple that with the data points I'm going to share with you, it does appear that this most likely was one very big orchestrated pump. So I'm going to go over all the stuff you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So in here, though, they really do talk on Betaville. So Betaville basically is Ben Harrington's website or his blog, I guess. And he is a freelance journalist, even though it does look like he is technically looking for work that he does state. But Ben Harrington does have roughly about 5,600 followers on Twitter. And I've been to his website. It looks very amateur from the 1990s or whatever it is, or early 2000s. But oddly enough, in here, though, they really do talk on how there's a common trend with Betaville, and that basically Betaville rumors cause a stock to bounce for basically one day and then fall right after. So it does appear that it's a little bit more of a common trend with Betaville that to cause pump and dumps. So definitely the SEC needs to pay attention and really look at Betaville, because funny enough, even when I was doing my live stream at the time, I did notice that the actual rumor or the blog potentially was taken down very fast. And coincidentally, Fuzzy Panda does actually have access to his website, on which he charges a huge amount. So £12,000 annually or £4,000 quarterly. So very, very, very expensive, completely mind-blowing. But again, beside the point, it looks like they removed it within 30 minutes after the whole rumor just really escalated. And keep in mind, Betaville was the one that started it. And what soon followed was roughly about 10 different agencies took this rumor and ran with it, including even Bloomberg. So definitely it really reached a big audience. And when it comes down to Betaville, what they really used in their blog was the term uncooked alert. And keep in mind, when they're using the word uncooked alert, what they really do mean is saying it's scuttlebutt, or hasn't been checked with all of Betaville's well-informed rare sources. The rumor might be total coddle swap, rubbish, or nonsense. So definitely very far-fetched words. I've never heard of those words before, but still, it looks like Ben Harrington is very much the culprit of this. So keep that in mind in the grand scheme of things, that definitely he might have prompted it for some benefit or financial benefit to him, because keep in mind, coincidentally as well, just in case you guys don't know, on January 23rd, 2023, Churchill had their lockup expiration. So that freed up roughly about 52 million shares of common stock and almost about 44 million shares of, as far as warrants, which of course could be exercised at the price of $11.50. Coincidence, don't you think, that the fact that it did pump up almost about double that? But again, beside the point, it looks like 96 million shares ultimately just of Churchill. So I think one thing is, not to pinpoint Churchill or point blame or anything, but most likely we will have to wait until their actual next round of 13Fs, which most likely would be in May, because of course we are now in the Q1. So we'd have to wait until May to see, based on their 13F, to see what they did with Lucid stock. Because also, like I said, I don't think it's any coincidence the fact that there was 96 million shares of Churchill locked up or kind of unleashed into the open market on January 23rd, when on Friday there was almost about 208 million shares. And when it comes to it though, a lot of people were immediately saying that it was shorts. Shorts were what was basically causing it to go up so much on Friday. But I actually beg to disagree. And my reasoning is, I was actually live streaming this and this stood out to me, as you can see. So this is typical retail presence as far as options activity, but this is what happened on Friday. This was shorts hedging their bets. So shorts were equally as caught off guard as retail investors were. So when it came down to Lucid, everyone was in the dark equally. And of course, what happened on Friday led to basically the morning on Tuesday or Monday, I guess, guess, that the gamma squeeze. So again, it's very much linked in that. So shorts did technically lose some money, so I'm sure some of you guys might be happy about that, but they were not behind this whole orchestrated pump, which of course it leads me to believe either Betaville potentially has some other connection, or either they directly did benefit, or maybe Churchill is linked into this in some way or another. Because coincidentally as well, that I'm going to show you this. So at the very beginning of the market on Monday, there was a very massive sell-off, largely prompted by this one trade. So as you can see, it's $10 million. And you see the bid, you see the ask. So the bid at the time was $13.01, the ask was $13.03. It was sold for $13, meaning it was a sell. So someone wanted just to dump $10 million of Lucid stock. And keep in mind, this is the secondary market, which very rarely does it have anything over $1 million, let alone 10. So this one definitely stood out as far as a transaction. And once again, coincidentally, technically looking at the tail end of the day, there was a $7.64 million buy. Once again, looking at the bid and ask, you can tell it was a buy. So clearly someone wanted to sell, cause it to prematurely go down, and then just to buy back. And just keep in mind, it was at $13 that the sale was, and $11.75, which was the buy. So just basic math, it looks like whoever did do this transaction cleared roughly about 1.5 million easily, just within one day. So again, manipulation behind the scenes. It's not necessarily shorts, because shorts didn't really do too much today. I'll give you a quick update on that. But like I said, I think this is just adding to the overall kind of question mark on potentially who did all of this at the end of the day. But shorts for the most part didn't really do anything. Like, it was flat. And right now cost to borrow is also going up. So behind the scenes, it's very questionable on Churchill. So I think right now we really do need to question the integrity of Betaville, this whole rumor, and just Churchill in general. But let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. I know right now it's kind of a hit and miss. Some people clearly do still believe it, because I think there could be arguments made for both sides in favor of a privatization or against it. But right now, at the end of the day, as I've already said, I think retail investors would very much largely lose out if there ever was a privatization offer. And most likely regarding any of this anyways, we won't probably have any clarity until the actual upcoming earnings, which, in case you guys do not know, is on February 22nd. So most likely Lucid is very well known for not responding to absolutely anything, whether it be positive or negative for the actual stock. They just stay silent. So I anticipate that still to continue. Same with the PIF as well. So most likely, like I said, we'll just have to wait until the Q4 actual earnings. So let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. Also, on a side note, who do you think actually stands to benefit, or did stand to benefit from all of this? Because clearly, I think it is in reality either Churchill or Betaville, or potentially maybe some other institution, because keep in mind, these are the big institutions in Lucid based on their last 13F. So right now we do have a lot of big names in here that we already know. PIF, clearly I don't see them being behind it unless they were the ones that was buying it up. Who knows? That might be a hostile takeover kind of scenario. Vanguard, BlackRock, a lot of other institutions as well. So who knows at the end of the day? And in the end, it might be one of those kind of scenarios that we never actually hear a answer on potentially what caused it. So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. But regardless, I think from here on out, we can start to look forward to a little bit more positive things from Lucid and not really factor in this rumor as of right now until we actually hear otherwise. So let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. On a side note, I'm going to actually leave this Fuzzy Panda research in the description below for you to read through it, because it does have a lot of other documentation in here on potentially why you need to sell Lucid, but I'm not necessarily going to bring that up. I just wanted to bring up as far as Betaville, Ben Harrington, and just the whole Churchill unlocking of their shares. So again, let me know your thoughts on all of that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships. Link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.